Go.
We on?
You're on.
Oh, what's up, YouTube? Yeah, YouTube. So, the Driveaway Bros again. Just wanted to do another video
With a real bro.
with the real bro. We're gonna do Driveaway Bros, bro. You know, we're not gonna share. We're not gonna have no bromance or anything like that. There's too many bros in this brosive video. But anyways, so I had a guy ask a question. He had a list of questions of things that he wanted to know about the Driveaway business. So I figured we'd do a little Q&A, and we wrote down the questions that he had. And so this video is for Jerry Decker. So Jerry Decker, this is for you. You wanted to know about some of this stuff about this Driveaway stuff. We're gonna go ahead and talk about it right now. Just to introduce everybody out there in YouTube. This is our good friend who's also in the Driveaway business. He's probably the Driveaway guru.
Token.
Yep, Token.
I'm only here because they need to add diversity to the videos.
Exactly. Somebody said that
I am getting the $20, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take it. We got you. We'll take it later.
Wait. Hey, do you take coupons?
No.
Sorry, we got food stamps. Anyways,
Leland.
So this is my good friend Leland. And he wanted to kind of hit on some of these questions because he felt that he wanted to express his knowledge out there to some of these cats that want to start, in the Driveaway. So the first question that our friend had was he wanted to know about the pay for Driveaway.
Well, and the thing about it is, just like with any other job, people don't really discuss their salaries. It's kind of a personal thing for a lot of reasons. But the thing that you really need to understand about the pay is, with all companies, pay 95% of the time is based on mileage. And what a lot of companies do is they have a minimum amount they'll pay you in terms of mileage. So in other words, usually if a trip is under 300 miles, they'll pay you for what the 300-mile rate will be. But if the trip is under 200 miles, there's another rate for that. But then you also have situations where there might need to be a rush order on an item, and they'll just pay a flat rate fee for that item. Like it might pay $500 to move that vehicle 100 miles. That's very rare, but things like that happen because they really need to get it there fast. So, pay varies. It just depends. Most of the time, it's based on mileage.
Yeah, as drivers, we're not really on the clock getting paid per hour, but like you said, not everything is also on the mile. Some stuff needs to be done a little bit sooner, so they're gonna throw extra money at you. So instead of a calculated run of $500, they're gonna be like, hey, look, we need this truck moved by this time. Can you do it? We'll make it $700 even. Then in that case, your mileage pay pretty much goes up, and that could be beneficial. So some companies, like I said, just to give an idea of the range, some companies pay, I think the lowest I've heard is like 20-something cents.
Yeah.
And
do not deal with that.
But it also depends. Are they paying 27 cents because they're covering a lot of the expenses like tolls, fuel, lodging, food? And then there's other companies that pay in excess of about 85 cents, maybe more. But those companies, with them, at that point you're kind of covering most of everything. So you're talking about overhead that you're gonna have to cover yourself. The other question that Jerry had was on delivery.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to know what the minimum requirement was as far as deliveries. How many obligated deliveries do we have to make, for the company?
Now that varies from company to company, and that's something that you should be explained to you during your orientation process, or it should be in your employee handbook if you receive one. Some companies require like 2 runs a month, some maybe 3 a month, some maybe just 1, and some there's some companies that may have that in place but may not necessarily enforce it, because you might be in a situation where you're a guy that, or female, either one, because we have females doing it too, so I definitely don't want to be just specify one particular gender, but you may be someone who runs a lot, but then you have a situation where your vehicle goes down or you have some personal problems and you're going to be off the road for a while. Now, of course, they're not going to say, well, you haven't done your 2 required runs, so we're going to have to cut you loose. I think that's a rule that they really enforce for people who rarely to almost never do runs, because then you're just taking up space unnecessarily, and there could be someone else that can hold down that slot, because companies can only hire a certain amount of people. So there's some companies I've tried to get with, and they turned me down because they don't have any open slots. So typically you want to, but the thing is, if you're going to get into this business, you shouldn't even be concerned with minimum runs, because you should be running to make money. If you're concerned with minimum runs, then this is not the job for you, because you should be able to make that minimum every week.
Right.
All right, now another big question that a lot of people throw out there is, if your tractor breaks down, who pays for that repairs?
Now, you know what? I'm glad they mentioned that, because here's what you need to understand, and this goes along with the pay thing. Okay, so you know that 90% of these companies, you are an independent contractor, which means that you're responsible for your own taxes. Now, here's what you need to understand when it comes to repairs. One company that I deal with, what they do is, when you have a vehicle that breaks down and you're in possession of the vehicle when it breaks down, yeah, the owner of the vehicle, the person you're taking the vehicle to, is the one that's going to pay for the repair. But the money is put on your account, and you have to write a comm check to pay for that vehicle. Now, I tell you that because what that does is it counts against you as taxable income. So what you need to understand is that if you have a truck and that truck ends up being a $1,500 repair, you're not going to come out of your pocket for it. They're going to put $1,500 on your account to pay for it. But when you get your statement, your pay statement, let's say the trip only paid $500, it's going to show that the trip paid $2,000. $500 you pocketed, but then $1,500 was for the repair. So at the end of the year, when you get your 1099, that money is counting against you in your taxes. So save that repair receipt and claim that on your taxes, because it's counting against you as income. And that's something that you're not told, but I've seen it on mine. So be aware of that.
Yeah, and I made the mistake of not filing. Look, guys, if you're in the driveway business, you got to be prepared to be able to take a loss. If you can't take a loss and it affects you emotionally and everything, then the driveway business is not for you, because you're going to take losses. You're not going to always be in the up and up. Me personally, I've had, what was it, like 3 breakdowns in a row, back to back to back. I had just 3 crappy trucks. And, you know, when we had the repairs done and everything, and the towing done for him, I didn't know what he had just explained, and I actually didn't report those earnings. So that kind of hurt me on my taxes a little bit, you know what I mean? The other thing I think they wanted to discuss was
forced dispatch.
Yeah, whether, you know, they wanted to know along with the delivery, you know, if it's a full-on dispatch or is it a non-forced dispatch. I want to say for the most part, most contracted. Now keep in mind, we're contractors.
Not employees.
We're not company employees. There are companies out there that do Driveaway, that employ employees.
And they go wherever you tell them to go.
Right. You know, so they don't have any control on where they're going, how many days they could be out or anything like that, and they get paid like flat rates of like 50 cents a mile. You know,
like regular truckers.
Like regular truckers, but
they don't pay for fuel.
They get benefits and stuff like that too, though. You know, whereas us, you know, we got to go looking for our own benefits.
Yeah, ours is no forced dispatch. The companies we work for is no forced dispatch, or contract with, I should say. So you just pick, you get an email or text message, whatever, every day, and it shows the trips that are available, where it starts and where it ends, and you just pick from that. And it's not, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get what you pick. There are two things that work against you. The first thing that works against you is that it's first come, first served. So we both live in the same state, so we both may want the same truck. Only one of us is going to get it. So that's the first thing working against you. The second thing that works against you is these trucks are bidded out. So these companies, they see a load board also, and what they do is they bid on it to the customer and say, hey, we can deliver this truck for you at this price. Right. And it's up to that customer to say, okay, I'll let your company deliver it, or they may say, no, I'll let another company deliver it. So whoever they decide to go with, that's who's going to get the contract. Those are the drivers that are going to move the vehicle. And that's a segue into the next thing, which is talking about, how many different companies you work for.
Right.
As many as you can.
As many as you can handle. All right. Now, if you want to be on the road, and you're one of these people who live on the road, don't have a home life or whatever, you could be out on the road for 2 months straight. Well, guess what? You could work for, like I said, as many as you can handle, up to what? I've heard of people, I think the most I've ever heard somebody work for a company comfortably was like four different companies. Mm-hmm. But at that point, they were pretty much, because of some companies are 2 trucks a month, 1 truck a month, they were pretty much giving away 2 weeks guaranteed of every month to just do the minimum amount of trucks for those 4 companies. Now, like I said, it's up to you guys. We do what we do. You guys do what you do. I work for one company. My friend here works for more than one company. It's what works for us. Whatever your living situation is, then it's whatever pays the bills for you and it's good enough for you. Then you at that point you should be savvy enough to know whether you can handle extra loads or not.
Yep. So the next question, which we actually need to, one of the questions was what type of vehicles get transported, and where was this? I'm gonna let him answer that while I answer this.
All right. So
take a quick little pause.
Intermission.
Go.
Oh, okay.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay. We had to take a quick break. It's a little warm out here. I'm a little chubby.
Hey man, don't ever do that again. Ever.
So,
oh my
thing was that. Wait. So I get sweating. I have to drink a little water, So, but anyway, where did we leave off?
Equipment. Types of vehicles transported.
Right.
Yeah,
types of vehicles that are transported by Driveaway companies.
If it has a steering wheel and tires, it can be transported.
Right.
It's a Driveaway business, so concrete mixers, crane trucks, tractors, tractor trailers, pickup trucks, cars, RVs,
car haulers,
boom trucks,
anything that's legally drivable, and even things that are not legally drivable that require special permits, basically is part of the Driveaway business.
Yeah. Even things that you can't legally drive on the road, it can be taken by what's called a low boy, and that's those ones that looks like a flatbed, but it kind of dips down real low to the ground and back up. Basically, what they do is that low boy actually separates, and it has a ramp where you can drive the machine onto it, and then they reconnect it together. And then, of course, the front of it is like a regular tractor, hooked to it, and they drive off with it. So you could take like big bulldozers, stuff like that. Anything can be transported is considered Driveaway.
Yeah, I guess another word for it is we're rental drivers. We get rented out to move equipment. It's funny, because there's also, because there's some companies that have so much equipment, but not a lot of drivers that need to get moved. That like some oil companies have all that equipment that needs to get moved from point A to point B, but they don't have enough drivers to move the equipment. So what they'll do is they'll have a team of contractors come in and load all of these trucks, and then they'll contact us and have us to never mind the the pedestrian action we got going on today, guys. But they'll pretty much call us, and we're pretty much just rental drivers, and we'll show up. And
that also takes away their liability. They don't have to worry about the insurance on their drivers, their hours, paying them by the hour.
Right.
'Cause we don't get paid by the hour. We get, our money is set regardless of how long it takes us to deliver it. So if it's a company driver, they have to pay them by the hour. So that's the other thing. It alleviates a lot of responsibility and a lot of liability from them to actually outsource it and have someone else do it. And that's where we come in.
Right. Now, I will say stuff like the low boy and specialty things with like permits and stuff like that, they're rare, few and far in between. The majority of the things that Driveaway drivers normally that make their money off of and pay their bills with is the semi-tractors, box trucks, and smaller units that would be considered like special units, like cement mixers, short crane trucks,
dump trucks,
things like that.
Yeah.
That's generally the bulk of what we do in Driveaway.
So the next question was, and actually it's equipment, but before we answer that, the other question, which should go before that, was, should you have a tow vehicle in this business? And I'll say this for me, and I would recommend that you do a lot of research in terms of what the Driveaway business is all about. This little tutorial that we're doing is very helpful. What I did, I had a friend who actually went into it first. I asked him a lot of questions, and I also did a lot of research online. And everything I saw suggested that you have a tow vehicle. And now that I've been doing this for about 2 years, I would not do this without a tow vehicle. And here's the main reason why. Safety and profits. Now, some people, if you do what's called decking, which is where the people, basically you have a tractor, and then you have these other tractors that piggyback behind it. A lot of times you can't really bring a vehicle along with that. Some do, some find a way to do it. But some companies will actually cover your transportation when you move vehicles like that. And some people just, when they get done, they'll just get a rental car and they go. But here's why I suggest, if you're gonna do like what we do, which is singles, why you need to have a vehicle. Like, you can put the camera on that. You see on the front here, and I know he showed you this before, these little brackets. And what you do is you put your tow bar here, and then the tow bar comes out and it drops onto a ball that you hook the equipment to the back of the truck. And I'm sure he's showing you the videos for that. Well, I want you to imagine you're taking a truck to Salt Lake City, Utah. And you're gonna get to a point where there's not gonna be anything for miles, just remote. And I want you to imagine it being, 2 degrees outside, and the truck breaks down to where it won't start. And now you don't have any heat. What are you gonna do? You're trying to call for help, but help could be 2, 3 hours, 4 hours before anybody can get to you. What are you gonna do in that situation? And it's a day cab, so it's not even a sleeper. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna stay warm? It's dangerous not to have your own vehicle when you're out here doing this. Some of these places you deliver to, there is no enterprise will pick you up type of thing. You're on your own out there. Me, when I break down, if the truck has to be towed, I get in my car and I'm safe, I'm warm until, help arrives.
Yeah, nobody wants to be stuck on the side of the road. I've done it, to be honest with you. Luckily, I'm in areas where I have phone signal. I've gone and done the whole, let me get out there and do it with no tow vehicle this go around. Let me just do rental cars or something like that. Now, it's a benefit to not have to have a tow vehicle, because that's something whole extra that you don't have to lug around and everything like that. But I think it's worse not having one. Me personally, I found that out the hard way. I struggled. I'm not gonna lie. The first 7 months, I think is 7 or 8 months of Driveaway that I started were about the hardest. But that's because I jumped in 2 feet in with no equipment, no knowledge, no nothing of the Driveaway business. The only thing I knew is what he was telling me based on what he had already been through. But the other, I think we have another
Locations like hub locations
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. Now, some companies have central locations where they have an amassed amount of trucks that are constantly coming out of those locations. A lot of those companies like to concentrate into, Midwest areas. We know there's places in like Indiana. Jerry, you wanted to know if there was stuff going on in Texas. There's a lot of main hubs in Texas. It just depends on which company that you decide to get on with. So when you do your research and you go looking to find out what company is mainly where, ask and find out if there's hubs in Texas, because that's going to be important for you particularly, or anybody else who lives in Texas. Texas is a big state.
Yeah, certain parts of the country, I'm gonna be honest with you. Certain parts of the country, if you live there, this may not be the work for you, because you're gonna basically, when you're ready to get started, you're gonna deadhead a long way. Like, take for example, if you live in South Florida, and when I say South Florida, anything like Orlando and South, Miami, all of that, probably not a good idea. Hardly anything ever comes out of Florida other than like Jacksonville, which is right on the Georgia border, going up out of the state. So you got to look, it depends on where you live. You live in the Midwest, it's a gold mine. We're in the state of North Carolina. It's pretty good here. It's pretty decent, but a lot of times we have to deadhead, to the Midwest to start picking up trucks. So, again, that falls with your research. And, find out, ask the companies where primarily trucks are coming out of so that you have an idea.
Oh, so that was the that was the last question.
Yeah.
What was the question? What was that one question that you had that you wanted to expand on?
Well, did you guys cover the equipment?
Oh,
Elkhart hitch
that's right.
in Indiana.
Types of equipment.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
So certain types of equipment. There's what we would call the U-bolt system,
Which is what I have.
which is what he has. I have it as well. My brother uses the Elkhart hitch system, which is a pinch plate system, and there's another one. I think I showed you guys the white mules, this big orange hunk of junk that I have, and then I've got another pinch plate that's like a straight bar pinch plate, and I got some other crap that I forget how the heck to use it, but it's there. It just depends on what you want to do. Hey, what's up? Anyway, sorry about that. So, if you want to do singles, you're going to be looking into doing like a pinch plate or anything like that. If you're looking at doing boom, if you want to explain real quick what boom is.
Okay, boom, and again, it depends on, how much you're on the highway and you pay attention to these types of vehicles. But it's basically a trailer that connects to tractors on their fifth wheel. Both ends of the trailer can connect to the fifth wheel. So you'll have one tractor that's driving forward. That's actually the tow tractor. You'll connect the trailer to that. Your vehicle will go up on that trailer in the middle, and then you'll back it into, or back the tractor up to the other one, and then there are hydraulics that actually lift the back tires up on the rear tractor so that it's rolling backwards on its front wheels, if that makes sense. That trailer that you're using is called a boom trailer. It works, it's all hydraulics. So when you're using it, it folds out and it's double in length. And then when you're not using it, it folds in half and you hook it to your pickup truck, and then you go to the next job or whatever. That's the reason why we recommend you have a vehicle, because it allows you to book trips, multiple trips in succession, and get to them without wasting time having to get a rental car, get a bus, get a train, get a plane. That you're spending money, whereas if you have an economical vehicle, you can just drive to the next job and start again. So the equipment is important. Elkhart Hit Shop in Indiana, these guys usually try to shy away from naming names, but there aren't a lot of players in the game when it comes to equipment. That's one of them. They're probably one of the best ones that are out there. You can go in there, they have a ton of stuff.
One second, go ahead.
So I would definitely recommend that you do that. I got mine off a website called towhitches.net. And that's where I got my U-bolt system from with those guys. There weren't any instructions with it. It was just kind of pictures. So I just kind of figured out how to put it together, but I also ran into other drivers who schooled me on various ways to hook the equipment up. So.
Is it a hot day today?
Yeah, I'm a little hot, man. I'm sweaty.
Well, you know, I was
that
actually...
case, you have to wake up.
God! Son of a biscuit.
On that note,
Butt munch.
I think we'll call it a take one. That was a good one.
Well, Jerry, I hope you enjoyed the Q&A today. That was for you, bastard. Whew. That was a little refreshing.
Just trying to let you guys know, stay cool out there. Don't dehydrate. Drink a lot of
Let
water.
me hold my shirt because my nips are getting a little hard over
Wow.
here.
I'm out this video. I'm out
With that being said,
I
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was very informative. Like, subscribe,
Tell your
guys. Comment down at the bottom because we will answer you. Jerry commented. I got his email, and this video, you know, is a shout out to Jerry. And shout out to any other truck driver out there who enjoys, you know, truck driving, just, you know, for entertainment or whatever. It doesn't matter. With that being said, you guys have a good one, and see you, bitches.